guys, and welcome to today's video. Today we are going to mess around with this Crayola Crayon Maker. Now, I got this a long time ago. I was probably like 10 or something. Got it for Christmas, I think. It's been sitting in storage for a while, but I just recently refound it. So today, before we donate it, I am going to try it out for the first time in a very long while. So first things first, I guess I have to open it and turn it on and make sure this thing actually works. As I said, it's been a very, very long time since I've played with this thing. Obviously, I was like a kid the last time I played with it. So this is just the state of how things were left. So this thing is not exactly a maker, it's more of like a crayon melter. So you can kind of like swirl together, mix together colors and get new colors. If this operates, I'm hoping to at least do like a reddish pink color and maybe a blue-green. My favorite colors are pink and mint, so that makes sense to me. It's a good thing I have these instructions because I don't know at all how to use this thing. There's a couple more things in here. There's, oh gosh, this crayon mold, which is like really, really dirty. And then more crayons. I don't think I'm going to be using these. I found some old crayons that I'm going to be melting. And then these things that are like supposed to be so you can hold the little crayons, and 2 popsicle sticks, I guess, to mix things together. So I'm going to put that to the side and let's get started. I am really hoping that there's a light bulb in here, and I'm also hoping that it works. So this thing sort of works like an easy bake oven, I guess. Like it cooks or it melts with a light bulb. An adult should plug the crayon maker into a plain wall outlet. Well, it's a good thing that I am an adult. Installing the light bulb, I'm hoping that that is done. All right, making crayons. Plug in the crayon maker and turn the switch located on top to the on position. Okay, let's switch it on. I don't know how I know if it's working or not. Fit both sides of the mold together, press on sides, and snap the pieces together. This is the mold and it's all snapped together and everything. I mean, it's dirty, but I don't really mind. I'm just going to use it like this. Slide frame into the front compartment of the crayon maker. I think it's right here, yes. Flip the tabs down to make sure it's in place. That's all good, that's all good. So I have these 2 sort of busted crayons. This one only has some of the 24 in there. This one is like used but has all of them in there. I'll put pink on this side and blue on this side. I'm going to unwrap the first color, the carnation pink. This one I feel like was always one of my most used ones as a child. Okay, so it says break whole crayons in halves or quarters, lay 3 to 4 halves or 6 to 8 quarters in each side. I think I'm gonna do a whole one of these and then half a red and half a red violet. We'll see how that works. And I have to make sure that they are on one flat layer. I can do this red violet next. I'm gonna do half of this one. Okay, and then let's do a red. Or instead of the pure red, I guess I could use the violet red in this box. This violet red is like actually barely used, but I think I'm actually favoring the violet red over the pure red. You know, in high school, I did this weird like multimedia project, and it was supposed to be like showing off the, oh my gosh, what are those things called? Like the elements and principles of art. My project focused on crayons, and basically I used the crayons to like highlight each of these elements of art. I did like, you know, the like you use a hair dryer to melt it down for one of them, and then like I drew a bunch of crayons from a bunch of different perspectives, and my medium for everything was just Crayola crayons. And now on to the green blue. All right, so blues that I have available, and I guess I could put a part of the green in there if I wanted a blue green. And this is the superior green in the 24 pack, so I'll be using that one. Now, this one is blue-green, which is the blue-green color in the 24 Crayola pack. I think I will primarily be using this one, but I do want it to be a little bit different, so I want to mix in like the true green and some other blue, I think. This first one is cerulean, which is a good contender. This one is indigo. That's what I would describe as being indigo. And then this last one is just what Crayola calls blue. Okay, so I think I'm going to be using cerulean, blue-green, and yellow-green. So let's break them up. I'm gonna use the whole blue-green crayon, and then like I did for the pink, I'm gonna use half of this one and half of this one. I also actually have a marker maker that we found with this crayon maker, and I think I might try that one in a different video. For some reason, I'm remembering the marker maker having like labels that you could stick on the markers you make. I think it would have been fun if the crayon maker came with like a similar thing. All right, so everything is broken and put in the crayon maker. I'm closing the lid. Oh, wait a minute. I think I probably swirled the crayons around with this stick. You can stick them on top like the vents. I will have to keep that in mind so I can swirl them around so they're less swirled and more mixed together. Turn the timer knob clockwise until it points to the light on symbol. Yes, I'm so happy that the light actually turns on. I was so worried it wouldn't work. All right, these crayons are going to get melted and I will see you in about 10 minutes when I can pour them. Let's go. All right, the light has gone out and now it is time to move. I'm gonna swirl this, mix this around a little bit. And now it's time to pour. Let's let that drip out a little bit. I feel like so much of this crayon wax is wasted because it just doesn't come out of this tray very well. Apparently, after 10 minutes or so, the timer will stop and I will be able to get the crayons. I'll see you then. Okay, so I can now uncover these. Now I have to let these set up for 10 more minutes. In the meantime, I think I'm going to be attempting to clean off this surface a little bit. Considering this is the last time I'm going to be using this, I do want whatever kid who picks this up, or maybe not a kid who picks this up at like the Goodwill or whatever, to not get a super messy machine. I'll check back in like 10 minutes and then we'll swatch these crayons and see what they look like. Okay, so I just tried to clean out that thing and it was hard. Like, I was getting crayon shreds everywhere. I have a feeling that part of the reason why I didn't play with it all that much as a kid is because it's so difficult to clean up. Our crayons are still in the mold. They are a little bit warm to the touch still, but the instructions did say that they would be ready to be played with now. I'm gonna unmold them and hopefully they don't break and we can swatch them and see what they actually look like. So here is the moment of truth. I guess we will see just how many other colors came off on this. There's like a weird little blob at the top of them. Well, there is a ton of blue on the pink ones. I'm gonna break them apart. I mean, I guess you could reuse these nubs and like mix them into new crayons again, but still it is a little bit of a waste, which is a little annoying to me. Okay, so here are our crayons and now I'm going to swatch them and we can see what color they ended up being. So here is the mold and here are the crayons. I'll put them on this white paper so you can see them a little bit better. I wasn't sure that from far away you could tell just like how mixed they are, but like, you know how the mold itself was a little bit dirty? It's very evident on the final crayon. So first the pink, I'm expecting, I mean, besides from the blue on there, I'm expecting like a berry kind of color. It's gonna be a little bit swirled because I didn't perfectly mix it. Okay, so this is our color, and now I'm gonna get the one that I think is like really similar in the 24 pack. So this is the color that I think it may be really similar to. It's the one that I broke in half to melt. It's the red violet, so let's see if I'm actually true about that or not. Oh no, this is actually quite dark. Ours is lighter, which makes sense because I put a bunch of carnation pink into it. All right, so onto this green, like the blue-green color. Oh, that's nice. It's much more green than I thought it would end up being. So this is the blue-green from the 24 pack, and let's compare it. Oh, this one's much more blue. And then here is just some balloons. It looks Pinkie Pie-esque with these two colors. You can see that on the pink, there is still like this little bit of like blue that peeks through every once in a while. You can see it particularly on this string. The crayons themselves do seem like a little bit more difficult to put on the page. Also, these crayons are like thicker and shorter than a normal Crayola crayon. So there we have it. That is the Crayon Maker. I honestly think that was lots of fun. Yes, it is a little bit of a mess. Crayon wax kind of gets everywhere, and the machine is like quite hard to clean, but we made some fun colors. Overall, I think it's a very fun toy with like a lot of potential, especially if the kids really like crayons. Beyond just being like a home craft, I could almost see this being like something to do in art class or at like a summer camp or something. Super fun. And in the future, I do plan to play around with the marker maker as well, so stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed your time here, maybe consider leaving a like and/or a comment. And if you'd like to see more of my stuff, make sure to subscribe. Bye guys!